Yeah, so one of the dreams that I've talked about, probably the bigger dream that matters to me and that has forever, is writing. And I really want to publish some of my writing. I feel really passionate about that. Um, I love storytelling and I love taking the experiences that I've had and presenting them in a way that is digestible. And my hope is that whoever is interested in listening or reading will feel something, um, even if they hate it. That they either feel seen or, if it challenges them and they strongly disagree, if it can help them to think about it and know themselves better. I think that that's really worth it. So I wanted to read one of the pieces that I have written. So I'm just going to go for it, I guess. Oh my God, Ox is really cute. My cat's being really cute right now. With the most tender eyes, she looked at me, comfortable with the silence I had created. I was actually hoping to talk to you about something. Baby, give me a fake name. Theodore. Theodore's office had truly become home to me over the years. The lighting was soft and the air was warm. The scent of lavender in the air. Silence engulfed me. The entire reason I'd started regularly scheduled therapy again was to discuss something specific, to get a very certain kind of help. But weeks had gone by and we had never failed to find conversation, so I'd easily held on to the shame that I now needed to release from my lips. I've been struggling a lot lately with binging and purging, I said, looking at my feet below me. Theodore nodded kindly and said with the sweetest tone, "It feels to me like that was a very difficult thing for you to say. Thank you for trusting me. How are you feeling now?" This particular session was so wonderfully liberating to my soul. My biggest secret, my greatest shame, was seen and fully accepted. We discussed trigger foods, how and when it started, and all kinds of details that I never would have thought to otherwise say out loud. And she told me that she really wasn't worried about me. Hope, my only true concern for you in this time of healing is the distress this coping behavior causes you emotionally. I'm really not concerned with the behavior itself. I was shocked. Theodore had only ever received me with open arms and kind words, but her acceptance of me around this act was transformative. On a danger scale of 1 to 10, you're at about a 3. You needed a coping strategy. I have no doubt that this behavior has saved your life and is your brain's way of preventing the development of PTSD. And you could have chosen so many things. You could have done heroin. We laughed, and she said, "Truly, you could have, and no one would have blamed you." I could feel my inner space holding this thing that I had hated so much with a new reverence. My disordered eating was not and is not my best for me, but it is a part of me that I now had the capacity to appreciate. Thank you, my heart said to my head, for saving me and protecting me when my reality was dangerous. The sun kissed my face as I wept joyful tears the entire drive home. For the first time in a long time, I had the tools to love every part of myself. Something that I did not understand or appreciate had revealed its purpose to me by a woman who was dedicated to helping me. The relief was staggering. Can I get a second fake name?
Yeah, Jay.
Jay. I couldn't wait to tell Jay everything. I knew that he wouldn't understand, but I also knew that he loved me and that my happiness was his happiness. He smiled as I recounted my therapy highlights, driving around somewhat aimlessly. He was one of the only people in my life who had known my secret, and he was proud of me for pursuing help. So we drove around, unable to make any real decisions or forge any definitive plans for the night. We ended up at a bar that a mutual friend worked at. Laughing and chatting, the evening seemed to unfold nicely. Jay mentioned earlier that he had been hungry, but as we settled into our bar stools, time passed. Restaurants were beginning to close for the night, and I felt terrible upon remembering that we had not gotten him food yet. I had eaten before and was feeling a little guilty for neglecting my boyfriend's needs. Let's just pick a spot. I don't care. We can eat anywhere, I nagged lovingly. It is really fine. I wasn't that hungry anyways, and places are closing. I'll be fine. No, you're hungry, I pleaded. His face scrunched with annoyance as he said, I really don't think I need to be taking food advice from you right now. His words knocked the wind out of me, and sadness blanketed the spot in my heart that just moments before had been so elated. This was the first time I had ever known Jay to be unkind in any way, joking or otherwise. That was the beginning of the end for us. He was my first love since. Can I get another fake name?
Mary.
He was my first love since Mary, a much truer love than Mary. He was a man who helped me believe that partnership could be more than a struggle for power and control. He taught me a great deal about love, both for myself and for others. But in that tiny, vulnerable moment, trust cracked, and we were never fully safe together again. I could feel his annoyance towards me that night. Was I too drunk? Too talkative? I was, in one way or another, too much. He didn't want a girlfriend anymore. He wanted to be alone, and I interfered by simply existing. This was the second time in a long-term relationship that I interfered with my partner's happiness simply by being. We stayed together for a few months after that night, but I walked cautiously. My heart is too valuable for the deception of rose-colored glasses. If something truly is extraordinary, it will have no trouble proving itself. Even the greatest companionship, driven by the sweetest love, is not life's best when separated from safety and respect. And it was in safety, with respect, that he and I parted ways. The most tender goodbye, a hopeful send-off. The shift from loving one another enough to risk the joining of our lives to loving each other enough to let go, loving each other enough to not be the answer. Had Mary let me go the way Jay had, I doubt I would be writing this at all. The problem with rose-colored glasses is that red flags just look like flags, which is a quote from BoJack Horseman. So that's a piece that I wrote, obviously from my life and with fake names. Thank you, baby, for providing those. Yeah, I just wanted to share that with whoever cared to listen.